Hello folks, thanks for watching my video. This is Brian. I'm doing brakes on a 98 Volkswagen Passat, and as you can see I'm doing the rear brakes because when you look at that caliper you can see that it's got little indentations. There's one here and one here. There are a couple of ways to deal with this. A C-clamp is not the answer. Neither is pry bars for anything other than getting it off initially. What you want to use is a kit like this. Inside this kit you'll have a bunch of different adapters. In this case we'll be using this one, and we'll also be using this to compress the caliper. To get the backside plate on, you just go like that, slide this through, and this will work against the fingers of the caliper. By fingers I mean these two right here. You can call them snake fangs. That'd be a cooler name, wouldn't it? But anyway, you take the tool and you apply this to it, and basically you get it collapsed all the way back, and you stick the tool up into the caliper. You insert the little tabs there, and you just start cranking on it. If you have it out at the extended position, this does two things. It rotates the piston. Let me get my fat hand out of the way. But as it rotates it, it collapses it. And why this is necessary, why they do it this way, is because as you look at the caliper, you can see that there is a brake hose for the hydraulic portion of the caliper. And then there's also a cable. Now this is your emergency brake cable. There'll be one on each side. But what happens is, you have to have some means, in this case it's a screw, to hold that piston from collapsing back in the event that you have a hydraulic failure in your brake system. If you have a massive leak because the hose got cut on debris or a brake shield, you can see I'm not even chafing it, but if somebody were really rough with it, that's a possibility. So now there are alternatives to using this kit. This kit is available at AutoZone. It's the OEM 27111, as you can see, and they will loan this to you. Pay the value of the tool. It's probably like 40 to 60 bucks, whatever, and you get your money back when you bring it back. If they don't mind a little dirt on it, that's what it's there for. Another way to get it to collapse is to use a pair of needle nose vice grips. And what you do is the same thing, as you just get in there, adjust it to the proper size, clamp it on, and then just turn it that way. This takes a little bit more elbow grease to get it done because you don't have the leverage. You can grab it with a pair of pliers. The disadvantage to doing it this way, the advantage is you don't have to go to the store to get something that you don't already have. The disadvantage is it's very tedious, because by the time this gets up into where the snake fangs are located, it's not going to be able to rotate anymore. So you're going to have to turn it over and then clamp it again and do that over and over again. There's another tool that you might be tempted to use but doesn't work on this particular make and model, and that is the 6-faced dice, where you've got all of these different kinds of pins that align with different kinds of calipers. They're very handy most of the time, but in this case there's no fit for it because there are only 2 indentations instead of 4, and the very closest indentations are these 2, and they're just not going to cut it. When you compare that to this one, see the difference there? So you'll either need to kit or to do it the tedious way. Another way is just get a pair of needle nose pliers and stick them in there and rotate them, but that really makes your hands sore, but it does get the job done. To get to this point isn't too hard. On the back side here, you've got these slide pins that enable the caliper to center properly. It only pushes from one side, piston side, and to the other side, which is a snake fang side, or finger side. Now this is a 15 millimeter, so you want to have a 15 millimeter wrench to hold that in place, and at the same time, you take a 13 millimeter or ½ inch. 15 millimeters about 5/8 if you don't have a metric set. And you just pull those out, and these go through either side of this part of the caliper. Make sure that when you reassemble it that you use not wheel bearing grease, but some kind of silicone based grease that's specific for heat and use in either a clutch system or a brake system where high heat is present, or normal wheel bearing grease will cause all kinds of havoc. They should slide in and out freely is what I'm saying. So you take those off, compress the caliper, and then you take your new brake pads, and then you can either lubricate the back or you can glue the back. One or the other will be just fine. You can apply it to the backside just wherever it makes contact. This one had a little bit of a shield on it. This was on the snake fang side. This was on the piston side, so that would be in place. Like I said, you can either grease it with this type of grease and cause it to not chatter, or you can glue it on with a lightweight silicone, a disc brake quiet product of some kind, and then you just stick it into place here, and then when you go to put your caliper on, this one's got so much rust on it it's not super cooperative. I'm trying to do this all in one shot. I don't like editing, it takes a lot of time. So anyway, you put the brake pad into place like that, and then you take your caliper, you drop it down into place, line up your bolts, replace them in place, make sure to torque them down properly so that they're not going to come loose. And that's how you replace the rear brake pads on a Volkswagen with rear disc brakes. If you like this video, I've got many other videos like it. You can click the gray subscribe button above or to the side. Maybe it's going to turn yellow or orange. You never know what Google's going to do. But somewhere there'll be a subscribe button, and then you'll be able to watch the additional videos that I come out with. If you like this video, be sure to click thumbs up that you like it. That'll help other people such as yourself to find it. If you found it helpful, share the love. It helps me and it helps other people. Thanks for watching.